I'm going to ask you to please stand, and Tim's going to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks, Tim. Okay, we got a beautiful night out there, so we'll try to move this through as quickly as we can. But we do have a little bit of a long agenda. So I think a lot of you have been here before, but just to refresh everybody's memory, these meetings are televised live. So when you reach the podium, please let us know your name and the business you represent, and you can lay your plans out on the table next to the podium. So we'll get started tonight with DRB 2022-13, the application of AFC Fitness at 555 East Lancaster Avenue in Wayne for some wall signage. Welcome, gentlemen.
Hello,
Hi.
my name is Barry Jacobson. I'm with Foreman Sign Company.
Okay.
I'm
Nice to have you here.
representing Aquatic Fitness Center. They are taking over the former what's the name of the former? Philadelphia Sports Club sign location. And what we're doing, we plan on rebranding them to obviously Aquatic Fitness Center. Assuming do you guys have the packet?
Yes, we do.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. So I'll just explain what we're doing at each location.
Okay. Do you have any extras you want to lay it out on the table next?
What's that?
Do you have any extra?
I have one.
Okay. Here, you can use mine if you want. Just so people, yeah, at least people at home can see what we're talking about. Okay, so why don't we, I know you have both monument and wall signage, so why don't we start with the wall signage first?
Okay.
Yeah.
So presently, they have a pan sign background in the window mullions. If you look on page 2, you can see down here where they have a red panel around the side. And on both sides of that part that juts out is their sign now, on both sides of that panel. What we plan on doing is refacing those red panels to blue panels. And then we're going to manufacture three-dimensional letters on top of that panel. So what you're looking at here is the AFC sign is three-dimensional in the fact that we're building a background where the blue section is behind the AFC is a reverse aluminum letter. And then on top of that, we're mounting another face and halo lit channel letter on the face of that background. So it's going to have dimension. It'll light from the face of it and halo off the back of it onto that blue panel that's also three-dimensional. Down here with this part, the panel. And then where the sign, that's going to go over their front door now, whereas their sign now is on the side. We're mounting our sign over the front door. The logo and the fitness letters are regular individual channel letters, internally illuminated. And then we're putting a panel on top of where the sign was on the left, where their present sign is now, because we're going to mount their sign over the front door.
Jane, your mic. Jane. Jane, your microphone. Okay.
And so where Philadelphia has their logo now, you're going to leave that blank?
Yeah, we're going to put a blue panel, that little blue panel underneath of the logo. That's basically covering, going to go where that panel is now, on that side, on the entrance side. So it's just going to be a big blue panel that wraps the building like the red one does now. But instead of having a routed panel like that, we're going to have three-dimensional letters on there that are going to face and halo light and very nice looking. And then,
What do you guys think of that?
I'm fine with it.
The one question I have, the three letters AFC, are they going to be above and beyond the mullions, or are they going to be within that?
yeah, they go above and beyond the actual, if you look at the front there is no mullions on that side there now.
Okay.
That's just a pan.
Okay.
We're giving that look of aluminum framing around the blue to make it look like a mullion, because there are no horizontal mullions on there.
Okay.
So we're going to try and match it up with the mullions on the left-hand side actually do go top and bottom horizontal. So we're just gonna make it look like that and box it in. So it's gonna frame it in so it look nice. So it does go above the panel.
Okay. So what's your total square footage on that sign?
36.9
Okay.
total. It's on page 3, I guess it is. Next page.
Below the red.
I think if you look at the notes Kevin left us, I think he's a little bit worried about the calculations.
Yeah, I guess the calculation actually would cover the entirety of the blue area, not just this square footage here, the 36.9. If I'm reading this correctly, that's just the areas that are highlighted in red?
Correct.
Okay. Technically, the full sign includes the banner as well. Do you know the dimensions of that banner there to be able to
It's 20, roughly 2211. It's on page 1.
I think we would just need to have some for the record to establish what the actual square
Exactly.
footage of the banner is.
Right.
The banner plus the AFC on top of it.
Right.
So it would be, they wouldn't be together, it would be, the banner and then the additional signage based on the AFC. Do you understand what I mean?
So it'll give you the size of the panel and then the size of the letters on top of it?
It'd be the entire area of all of this, not just the red.
Right. Do you have to calculate the part that goes above and below, or just the band, and then I can count the letters? Because if I got all the wasted space on top and bottom of the letters, does that count for square footage? Follow me? So for example, the band's one thing. Say the band's 3 by 23, say. That's the band. Then you got the letters that go AFC, they're above and below the band. So can I count the AFC and then the band? Or do I got to count the area? If I'm boxing the whole thing in, am I counting the part?
If you're trying to figure out the ways that you can either have 3 different boxes and figure out the square footage of each of the boxes,
Oh, I can do 3 boxing?
or you can do the banner plus just the part of the AFC that's above it.
And so I can box in separately, but just count that band in the.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're allowed up to 60 square feet.
So chances are you're going to be well within
Yeah,
that.
I think
It's just,
so.
I think it's a matter of just knowing that number for the record.
Right.
And that also, I guess, would also count the banner on the other side of the wall.
Right,
So that,
Yeah.
that blue banner where you're facing where the Philly Sports Club is,
Right.
we need that calculation as well.
And that counts the square footage even though it's blank.
Yeah. But I don't think it's going to affect
Yeah.
your 60. I think,
yeah, I still think you're going to be in it, yeah.
I mean, it's
The other question too is the height from grade.
gonna be tight.
Yeah, yeah, it
with
probably
that,
will be
if I
pretty
gotta count
tight.
that in there, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Because we didn't think, that's basically like a wall kind of thing there, so there's no real copy. It's just part of the
Right.
design of,
yeah, no, I understand, but technically it is considered a signage, so that's, under the code, that would be considered. Or like Colin said, alternatively, you can remove the blank sign.
You could argue that it's like.
Facade.
Facade.
Yeah,
right,
quite
they don't
frankly.
have a facade, that's the issue, they have no
Yeah.
facade.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if they had a facade, you wouldn't be counting that, because nor would we paint that
I feel
blue.
like they're negatively getting impacted by that return.
Right,
You don't even see it anyway.
Mhm.
They're also on the backside of Lancaster Avenue.
Right.
So the only people that are seeing this sign are tenants of those buildings.
yes,
Or people that are illegally passing through the parking lot.
right,
Yeah.
right, which we've all done a few times. Right,
I get Kevin's points, we have to follow
Yeah.
the rules.
right. Well, I was mentioning to Jane, I was on the board when Philadelphia Sports came in, and it was a real tough application. Actually, we went as a board to the site. And it was kind of tricky, but we came up with that red banner, but I don't remember, the square footage and all everything that went into it. And what really puzzles me is why the sign was on the side and not over the front door. I just don't remember that, and there must have been a good reason why we did it that way, or asked the tenant to do it that way.
Well, is the banner that would be considered the blue blank banner now?
Yeah,
Is that on a different frontage?
It It is,
So is it a different sign?
but they're connected.
They're connected, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, let me ask, well, two things.
Because otherwise you're talking about replacing in kind.
Yeah, that's what I.
Except, this,
yeah.
this application is replacing in kind, except that it's going above and below the banner with the AFC.
Right, and does that exceed the 60 square feet requirement because of that? We know we're close.
Yeah, I don't know what the old banner was.
Right, exactly. The other thing is, do you have a height from grade on those letters? You can't exceed 15 feet from grade. So, I don't know, by extending those letters up a few more inches, whether that pushes it over to 15 feet from grade,
So from the bottom or from the top?
top down, or,
From the top of the letter, or from the bottom of AFC?
yeah, let's say from the top of
The
the
top of the
AFC.
letter.
The top of the letter down can be more
To
than
the
15
grade.
feet?
Yeah, so we need to know that, just to,
Yeah.
and I'm sure the previous tenant was 15 feet or under, because I think we would have gigged them back then. That's a pretty easy
Unless
one.
they got zoning relief.
I didn't think so. I'm pretty sure.
I mean, I'm gonna say it's more than 15 feet. I mean, my guess, I mean, that door's
Can
7.
you go back to the next, the previous slide?
Yeah, I think they're above.
First page?
I think they're above.
Colin, what? Colin. Not mine? No problem. Yeah.
Letters,
So that's probably an 8-foot door.
yeah, they're probably on there, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we would like to have those measurements, though,
Yeah.
at least in the
Yeah, I'll put that
township.
in there.
Yeah,
I would
for the
say
records, for the
probably
files.
max out, like a little under 13.
I just
I know, okay.
Okay.
I'm just worried about the top, okay.
So there's another sign
Well, it's
you,
only, one goes above it, not,
I know, depending on how it goes above the.
right, that's what I'm saying, so we gotta figure
yeah.
out.
There's another sign I know you want to put up on the wall also.
Right,
Is that on the front of the building?
that's right on the other side of this, other side of that canopy, so if you go to page,
As you start to pull up the exit drive, you would see it on the left?
right, if you go to
Yeah.
So it's not on the front?
So it's on the
with-
back side of where we're putting that blanket, where there's a sign there now.
It's on the drive if you're
Yeah.
heading towards Gennardi.
Right, exactly, on the left. You're dating yourself.
You're dating yourself there, man.
So that side now has a sign which is refacing. the face.
Right,
Correct,
okay,
That may be higher than 15 feet.
I think it is.
right, but that was existing.
That's what.
yeah,
That's a replacement too. And
okay,
that's, but here's the thing, that's the same elevation. On the opposite side of that is the sign. That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
So, I mean, we're on the same, it's not like that's higher than, the very opposite side of that is where their sign is now. We're putting a blue blank in there and then we're just wrapping. So, I mean,
I wonder if that sign was on their original application.
Okay.
Or really forced.
Yeah, I don't remember. I remember we spent a lot of time looking at the front of that building, and so I think the two issues enter, the square footage of the sign and the height of the sign. We need to just get accurate measurements on those, so. You're
well,
allowed
that's something I
60.
can just send you guys, or you have to come back to this meeting.
Well, I think, do your calculations, turn them into the township, and Kevin, who's head of community development, will end up making the final decision.
It wouldn't be something that you'd have to come back to us for.
Okay. Yeah, it's easy enough
It's
to
a-
calculate, just don't have it in front of me.
Yeah, exactly. It's just, it's something for the records in the office,
Right,
and
yeah,
they
of
have to
course.
have it when you get, I don't think they'll give the permit until they get that information.
Right,
from-
and we'll make it contingent upon.
Exactly.
Who
Okay.
would, I hear your point about the blue, but who would we talk to about that as far as being part of their facade? Because they don't have a facade.
Kevin Kuczynski.
Kevin would?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, because it is a hardship, but they don't have there's no storefront. I
Mhm.
mean, it's a glass storefront.
Right. Okay. All right, so we're good on the one sign as you pull out of the parking lot, correct? We're good there
I think they gotta
Yeah.
clarify the height.
on that also?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So we'll do the height on both signs.
Well, the other sign, if it is replacing in kind, then
That's
it's
all.
fine, but,
Okay, fine, I'm fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but just for the records.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would say that thing is it's probably, that thing,
20.
You know, maybe the panels are 3 foot.
it's probably about 13, 14, because those things, I mean, I'm coming up with 2'1" on that panel, and if they're all the same, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, I mean, you're talking 12, 13, probably 13, probably about 13 feet. So you might be okay.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
so your main sign again, just as far as the image of the background is lit or not lit?
The background blue is not lit.
It's going to have a shadow on it, correct?
Well, it's
Yeah.
going to have an individual letter on it.
Yeah, but
And
there'll
then
be a
the
little
channel
shadow behind it, or
Well, the AFC letters, they halo.
You're right.
They face lights. They'll
Okay.
light through the front and they'll light the back.
they'll like the back also? Okay, good. Okay, all right, so are we good with the 2 wall signs then?
Yeah.
And you know where we're at then, right?
Yep.
Where we're looking for, Jane, you're
Yeah,
okay?
I'm okay with that, yeah.
I'm sorry?
Yes, as long as it's within the sizes.
I think they're
Right.
gonna look really nice once they're up there.
AFC stand for?
Quad Fitness Center. He's got, how many locations do you have?
This is number 3.
3? More than that?
We
Probably
have
more.
5, 1 burned down.
Oh, yeah.
Grand Avenue location northeast burned down.
Okay,
This is little back, moving back up to 3.
all right, good. All right, so
He's
you've
doing,
got
he's
some
doing a lot of
mon-
work in there too. It's,
Yeah. Well, when
Good.
do you expect to open?
July.
July, okay. All right. You've got some monument signs also,
Yep.
right? Okay.
the monument signs on sign number 4.
Actually, before we jump ahead, that little elite sign, that's not,
That's a sticker.
okay, so that's coming off. Okay,
Okay,
I think that was from the previous, that's from the previous tenant.
okay,
I was
All right.
superimposed the pictures when I was in the picture.
Well, if
okay.
you have a height issue, put it there.
Yeah, but then you gotta go around the front, it's gonna be dicey, because those are the opposite sides. So if I go down lower, then you gotta,
Okay.
if there's a height issue, then what happens? Who do we gotta talk to for that?
You need relief.
You have to go to zoning board for that?
That's still 15 foot on that side.
Yeah, it's gotta be, well, it'll be the same on both sides. Okay, we'll figure that out.
I think you do have clear hardships.
Right, it's just a matter of
If
time.
you were to get that far, but I
Right.
don't think you will.
Right, I hope we don't, so obviously they're trying to open in July, so.
Sure.
We'll have some signs.
Okay.
And then sign 4, that's, all we're doing with that is refacing that bottom panel there. Is it- It's a Brandywine-owned sign, that monument sign. All we're doing on that is just rerouting new panel at the bottom,
Okay.
and putting their name on it. Quite frankly, I don't even know if it's illuminated. So we're just putting, it's no square footage the same as what's there now, we're just replacing a routed panel at the bottom.
All right.
And then, sign 5, that is a non-illuminated sign, we're just decorating
Mhm.
vinyl graphics on 3 sides of that sign.
Okay.
And then, sign 6, there's about, I believe there's 3 of them around the parking lot, just directional signage. Again, aluminum panel, non-illuminated vinyl graphics, just directional, showing people how to get around
Mhm.
the parking lot.
Everything will match.
That's it, yep,
Okay.
match from that, same color, everything.
Mhm.
That's pretty much it.
I know there's one thing, we'll just ask you to double check, just make sure that the address building, or address number is on the building, just in case there's an emergency.
Okay.
I don't see any of the photos, but,
yeah, I don't see it, but these are dummied up.
yeah, we'll just double check, just to make sure. And it's against code to use those like A-frame signs, you see a lot of them out there, so, yeah, save your money, don't buy one. You'll get asked to take it down, so,
We don't
Yeah.
do them anyway.
all right. Comments, questions, what do you think?
Yeah.
Nope.
Again, make sure the address is on the door.
Right. You guys are good?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Tim, want to take it?
sure.
I'm sorry, before we go, any questions for the board? You guys are good? Okay, Tim's going to make a motion for approval.
In the matter of DRB 2022-13, I move for contingent approval of the application, subject to submission of compliant heights and of the wall signs and square footage calculations of the wall signs.
Okay, do we second?
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and again, it looks like 60 square feet is what you're allowed, okay, on that sign.
Thank
All
you,
right? And 15 feet from grade.
appreciate it.
Okay,
Thanks a
thanks,
lot.
guys. Good luck. All right, next on the agenda is 2022-14, the application of Buno Onda, I'm probably butchering that, all right, I butchered it, 226 North Rochester Road in Wayne.
Like you've been here before.
All right, Dave, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good, good.
My name is Dave. I'm with Image 360 in Bryn Mawr, and I'm representing the Garces Group, who's opening Buena Onda Taqueria in 226 Radnor Road. The sign is going to be just acrylic letters mounted on a rail, so they kind of suspend in this little sign panel that is on the building already. This is kind of standard for all the tenants in this strip mall. So we're basically matching kind of the existing Jimmy John signs, except with the Buena Onda font and logo style. And it's 21 square feet.
Pretty simple. That
Yeah.
was if you remember, new construction that came in.
Yeah.
I think this is the first time somebody's left, and we've had a replacement on there, but.
I think we've had another replacement on there
Did we?
already. Yeah, but
Yeah,
Another one?
Place, a little place.
there's something.
I think Sweet Green, no,
Yeah,
Honey Grow or something.
Yeah.
so this is,
You know when it's
gonna
opening?
match.
What'd you say?
What's the timeline for
They
opening?
want to open in June, but I don't know if they got the other permits.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've been looking forward to this one.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah.
It's on the hot list.
It's on, yeah.
We have concerns with the full name of the business.
I don't.
Okay.
How do you guys feel? You all right?
I'm fine with it.
Okay. I think it looks good, and, yeah. So that's gonna be a whole new panel then, right, Dave?
Well,
You're
the
not
panel's
pat-
already there, so it's just new
I
letters.
don't know what that means.
Are you gonna see holes from Jimmy John's, or?
No, because the letters are mounted in this. there's
In the
like a-
same place.
It's like a socket underneath that panel.
Okay,
And it's hollow inside, so there's like rails coming up. So no, there won't be any holes from Jim, it's mounted inside where this.
okay. And the lighting, I believe, is in the,
The lighting is in there, yeah.
right, okay. All right. You've got your address number on there, I think it's,
Yes,
Yeah.
the address is already there.
and then you've got the monument sign coming in also.
Yeah,
Right, by the road. You're gonna
Yeah.
change out the monument sign, and that'll
Yeah,
be
same thing.
a match, yeah,
It's just to match the existing.
okay,
But that one only says Buena Onda.
okay.
It doesn't say Baja Taqueria.
All right, do you know if they're talking about any window signage or anything?
No, but I told them, what, 10% coverage?
15
15?
in that location,
Okay,
yeah,
I told them that.
and no sandwich
Cutting into your
boards.
business.
Yeah, I know. Because it's usually 10, isn't it?
Not 20,
Ah.
it's usually 20, but in their location, it's 15,
okay.
yeah. Okay. Questions, board?
None.
No, good, good, good. Who wants this one?
Yeah.
Okay,
In the matter of 2022-14, Buena Onda, wall sign and monument sign, motion for approval?
Seconded.
okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thanks, Dave, good to see
Enjoy your
you.
summer.
Yeah.
Take care. Next is DRB 2022-15,
Yeah, that's why the wait.
the application of the Emerson Group at 409 East Lancaster Avenue in Wayne for a ground sign.
I wanted to say about the guy, when he
Hello,
pulls
sir.
the hammer.
Good evening.
Hi.
I'll move it around. My name's James Convey. I'm president of Treasure Sign. I'm here on behalf of the Emerson Group, who would like to put a new sign at their location. So, oh, there we go. So here's their building, and they own this as well, 407 and 409. And here's the location we're talking about for the sign for this purpose of me being here this evening.
You know, sorry, can you just talk into the mic, or maybe slide the mic a little closer to you? There you go.
Is this the building that was combined?
Yep.
Okay.
That is it. They've been working on it for a few years now.
Yeah.
This one's gorgeous, and then apparently they're gonna start working on 407. Now, I guess. But the purpose of me here tonight is for this sign in that location right there. So that's how it looks right now today. There's a stump here. and they have their old sign for 407 on the next island over there. So that one would be coming out, and we want to put our new one right there where the tree stump was. And it's just going to be an address panel. It's going to be constructed as high-density urethane, which is, you know, the man-made composite material that you see all up and down Lancaster Avenue in that block. It looks like redwood, but it's not. Doesn't splinter, doesn't crack, lasts for years. It's going to be high-density urethane, and then authentic stone monument below it by others. And I'll just be coming in and dropping in the monument sign there on top, non-illuminated, double-sided,
How about lighting?
15 square feet.
Lighting?
Well, if it's lighting, it's going to be by others. They'll probably want to uplight that, I imagine, but I don't know. I'm
But at
not,
this point, they didn't talk about lighting.
not with me
Okay.
on it.
I think they're gonna
I'm
need
sure
enough
they would have
light.
the same electricians that have been there for 3 years working on this building, work on that maybe, but
Okay.
they just asked me to come on behalf of them to
Mhm.
pitch that sign there on top of the stone monument.
So in that location, they're allowed 15 square feet. And it looks like they, I think you maxed it out at 15 if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, three by 5, yeah.
So they're good there. And there was a concern from community development that the sign may be a little too close to the road.
Okay.
You know how close it is to the road?
Well, yeah, I think we were following, I think that was the code there, right? 40 feet from the center of the road, is that?
Well, it's,
Because that's what we were measured out, and that's what we were using as our guide, so,
I know the code book says 10 feet off the cartway,
okay.
so.
From the edge of the lane there, right?
Sorry?
From the edge of the lane to the sign, 10 feet?
Edge of the curbing,
Oh, the curb,
yeah,
the curb?
yeah.
Well, if that's, you know,
So what we
Well,
don't
that's
want
what it
is
is.
cars, you know.
yeah, if that's what it is, that's what we're going to have to do then,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, if you guys want, we can always ask, Kevin to ask the police department to just
Yeah.
go out to do it.
I think it makes sense on this
Yeah.
one.
You may or may not know, what's the purpose of the building, the future use?
Well, it's not, they're in there now, I don't,
So
you know,
there
they
is-
represent like,
But, so they're occupied?
yeah, they're in there
It's a
working.
single tenant?
It's one company, yeah.
They were in a couple.
My concern
times.
is if this gets approved and then they break up the use to separate tenants.
Right, I see.
You know, it's gonna have another monument sign with additional signage. So what's the use then? Is it another monument sign? You know, because this building's not always gonna be the same tenant.
Right.
You know
Well,
what I
I guess
mean?
we're gonna have to come back.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just think it's a lot of money to spend on an address monument.
No, you're right about that. Yeah.
I thought big numbers
Mhm.
and not telling.
Well, the designer, I
Doesn't
mean,
make sense to me, to be honest.
yeah, the designer that reached out to me, that designed the building, she wants the name of the company, Emerson Group. She actually wanted me to come here tonight for two. One where the red marking is, and then one on the island to the right that would have the name of their company. But apparently the owner of Emerson does not want his name of his company out there.
Okay.
So they asked me to just switch it. So
Right.
we started over with the application here, and I don't even know, we may have even originally submitted it too, but then we
Okay.
just changed it to this address panel. So that's
Okay.
why it's at just that.
I mean, other than the distance from the cart,
Yeah.
you know, it should be approved, but.
I mean, my only question is 407 actually situated on the lot for 409?
Yeah, it is. I imagine that, because I don't know about where the property line goes, but you see that it's like for the driveway that goes in between the two. And I don't know if they're connecting that either. Like, they just connected those two other properties.
Right, that's been before us to do the design on that, the facade change.
Yeah. So I honestly don't know that answer, but like,
Good question, though.
Yeah.
That's it's kind of confusing.
Unless
I
they-
agree.
Unless they, in their, you know, conversion of lots.
They're changing it
included
all.
that
Exactly.
one too, which could be, but we wouldn't know unless we got the zoning.
But I think the design and everything we do like that, there's no problem with the design or anything like that. that, I guess. The
Well,
concern
fortunately,
is the placement as far as,
I don't like it, but we have to approve it. 'cause
right, yeah. Well, like I mentioned to Tim, I don't know if you heard, maybe we should ask Kevin to ask the police department, just to make sure
Yeah,
the placement's okay, it's not
We've
gonna
done
cause
that in the
hazards.
past.
We
Yeah.
have, and I think this one makes sense because you're talking about,
Looks like it's less than 10 feet.
Yeah.
Because the sidewalk there is incredibly narrow.
Mhm.
and most of
It
the
is a
traffic.
very narrow sidewalk right there.
Right.
I mean, I was always hoping that they would widen the sidewalk all the way down like.
Oh, yeah, that's an accident waiting to happen there.
Do you know if the bushes up front are staying?
I don't know.
Because that's, again, that goes towards, they're lower, but just another impediment. I think it would make sense to have somebody go out there and check the sight lines.
Okay, why don't we do that?
All right, so just to be clear, though, about the 10 feet. So it's 10 feet from the curb, and then is that where the end of where they built that stone monument? Is
Yeah.
that the 10 feet?
Yeah,
Or is it the sign?
not a stone.
Stone?
monument, Yeah.
All right. So, you
And again,
know,
we're gonna ask community development to ask the police department just to do a site study, just to play it safe.
Mhm.
Gets everybody off the hook that way.
yep.
Okay.
And then Kevin will contact you, or does he contact them?
You're my son.
And then does Kevin contact him when, after
I'm
the
not sure
measurement's
how
done?
it will go,
Oh,
but yeah,
oh,
you'll be,
yeah.
or the
We
owner,
would do
Emerson will be
conditional
fine.
approval,
Yeah, yeah,
so.
okay.
All
All
right,
right,
sounds
any other questions about the
I just
sign?
don't know if Tim's point,
Okay.
is needed to put together a site plan, but
Okay.
I'm sure they have that with the work they've done.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not privy
Right.
to it.
Oh, I'm sure. It's a
Right.
little expenditure and everything, but,
The amount of
So-
stormwater they put on that lot is like,
Yeah.
okay. All right, so why don't we have, do you have any other questions for us? Are you good?
No,
So-
I don't. Aside from that 10 feet, which we can just make
Okay.
sure that happens.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask our attorney at large here, make another conditional
Yeah.
approval.
In the matter
Sorry,
of
Jane, you got
That's all right.
DRB 2022-15, I move for conditional approval of the application subject to a request and a satisfactory conclusion to a line of sight study to be requested by the Radnor Township Police Department.
Okay, great. Do we hear a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Okay, great, thank you very much.
Thank you all.
And I'm sure the township will reach out to you, okay, or to Emerson Group.
All right.
Okay, great, thank
Appreciate
you.
it. Thank you.
Thanks, Tom. Next is DRB 2022-16, the application of KC Sign for city hydration at 181 East Lancaster Avenue in Wayne for a wall sign and a projecting sign. All right, Greg,
Hello again. Good evening.
how you doing?
Evening.
See if that'll work. There we go. So we have, I'm Greg Feld from KC Sign Company, representing City Hydration. And they would like to replace the existing awning that's there now for 183 Studio, take that down and replace it with a flat aluminum, non-illuminated wall sign to go over the entire building front area, covering the windows and the door. And the new sign, like I said, is non-illuminated. It would be a flat aluminum panel and have a frame around it, a 1-inch deep frame. The letters on it would be HDU, or PVC, I'm sorry, PVC carved letters, so they would stand out. They would be 1 inch thick, give it a little dimension and depth on it. And then also as part of it, I can give you a close-up of that. So that's the proposal for the replacement sign. And underneath that,
Good looking sign, you think?
Yeah, that's a nice looking
Yeah.
sign.
Yeah.
I guess one question I have, it actually protrudes into 181. So the application's for, well, actually, the application says 181. The majority of the building is 183.
there was some slight confusion with the address.
Yeah.
I came to learn that 183 is the storefront.
Yes,
Basically, the 181, they have offices upstairs.
Okay.
So it's kind of all part of the same
it's the same
business.
group?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
I think they were using the 181 address on the application, but,
okay, all right.
and then the 181 and the 183 are on the transom windows, you can see there, so the addresses are clearly marked above each door
Okay.
already.
Yeah.
So we're just going to leave them as they are.
Okay, so
That makes sense.
so this new sign is 27 square feet.
Yes.
Okay.
And then there's some window graphics on there too. I just wanted to show them the logo in the center and some wording around the edges.
Mhm.
Total square feet for them, it's only 5.4 square feet of the graphic area. We're not boxing the whole window just because it takes up, the graphics take up so little of the window. We
Mhm.
just thought we'd include the square footage of the actual name, the words, the text, and the logo on that.
Okay.
And that's 9.34% of the window area will be taken up by the graphics.
Hey, Greg, getting back to the wall sign, is there any illumination on that?
There is none, no.
Okay,
There's nothing there now, and we're not proposing anything.
okay,
I believe the awning there now that's not illuminated as well.
right.
No, it's not.
Okay. What do you guys feel about that sign?
Fine with
Good
it.
with it?
Like it?
Yeah, I like
I think
Okay.
it's good. Yeah. So Greg, it's going to come out, square, come back, have a return, basically?
On the wall sign?
Yeah.
Yeah,
How far does it come off the wall?
the frame, there will be a frame, a metal frame around the edge. That'll be 1 inch. That'll protrude 1 inch off of the flat panel. And then the carved letters inside, they're also 1 inch.
Okay.
So we get that same
Like a
dimension on the frame
Gotcha.
and the letters.
Gotcha.
All right. I think it looks good.
I think it's,
And I don't know if you have the measurement down, but again, we can only go 15 feet.
Oh.
Yeah,
Right, I think that's about 11 or 12.
yeah,
tops.
looking at the neighbor Tradici, and we did approve that sign, and that's certainly higher than the one you're showing us tonight, so.
That's probably about where you start maxing out up
Yeah,
there.
yeah, I think so.
I mean, the door is either 7 or 8 feet, so
Yeah,
he's
we
well
should-
within.
we're in good shape there, so, yeah. Okay. All right, let's talk about, you guys are good then with the wall sign?
I'm
Yep,
okay with it,
Jane?
yeah, I'm okay with it.
Okay. Why don't we take a
I
look
think it's
at
better than
that?
that awning.
I'm sorry?
I think it's more appropriate than that awning.
Yeah, it looks very nice, yeah.
Thank
I guess a question the board had earlier on, do you know what city hydration is? What
Yeah.
type of store?
Oh, I know what the window graphics say.
I just looked it up. It's like IV treatment.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
an infusion lounge.
Fluids and like vitamins and it's got a whole menu. It's pretty cool.
Really?
I don't think I'd ever do it, but.
Okay, all right,
Sounds
interesting.
like something
Okay.
there's a market for here.
Yeah,
Well, I'll tell you, they have locations in Wayne and Avalon.
all right,
Same clientele.
okay, good.
Really?
All right,
It doesn't
so
sound like something,
you never know, Jane, you know?
okay.
Yeah. All right, so you've got a projecting sign, I think you're looking at.
There was a projecting sign on the original application. I didn't bring a printout because when I did the calculations for the wall sign and the window graphics and the square footage and everything and resubmitted that, I thought the projecting sign wasn't really allowed or permitted, so I left that off.
Okay, all right, there's some issues with it anyway, so.
That's what I figured.
Okay.
And so I dropped that off of the resubmission.
Okay, so forget the projecting sign altogether?
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to be allowed. I didn't know what
Yeah.
the opinion was of
Yeah.
the board or anything.
It's
but-
too high, first off.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
one thing, and I think, and I'm not 100% sure, I think the previous property owner, I think put that projecting sign to advertise basically for rent in that location.
That's what's there now, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think they put it, advertise a business, they advertised, looking for a tenant, basically. And I believe that property was sold.
I think so.
I think it's new ownership there, so,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
okay. So really then, we're just looking at the wall sign and window graphics.
Yeah, they originally saw that projecting sign and wanted to replace that, and then as I submitted, I realized, yeah.
Okay, all right, so
We're
forget
just
the
going to do the
projecting
flat wall sign and the window graphics.
Okay. All right, good. Greg, anything else for us?
I don't think so. no.
We're in good shape. How's the board looking? We're
Looks good.
Good, good.
Looks
Jane,
good.
want to take it?
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
For DRB 2022-16 for city hydration at 181 East Lancaster Avenue, one wall sign and no projecting sign. I move for approval.
Seconded.
I'm sorry, was there a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, great. Thank you, Greg.
Great, thank you. Have a good
Okay.
evening.
Good luck.
Okay, next is DRB 2022-17, the application of the Bank of America at 520 West Lancaster Avenue for Wayne, for a lot of new lighting and some landscaping.
Good evening.
Hi.
My name is Denise. I'm from Project Expeditors. I'm representing Bank of America. located at 520 West Lancaster Avenue in Wayne. The bank is proposing exterior lighting and landscaping upgrades to comply with bank standard security lighting requirements and to reduce energy consumption through the replacement and relamping of fixtures with LED lamps. We're proposing 9 new light fixtures, 70 replacement fixtures, and 5 new poles. I'm not sure where you want me to start, because
Okay. Well,
We
just
got a lot going
walk
on
us through
here.
what you have. Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know if you want me to show you the plan. I think you all have it, page 3.
Okay. And you know what? Maybe, it may be easier for you to use a mic.
Want me to just move? Is that better?
Yeah, this handheld may be better.
Okay.
Whoops.
Okay, so we are replacing 32 fixtures under the red canopy on the 3 sides of the bank, the front, the right side, and the back. And that would be these lights here. Yeah, okay, sorry. These lights here. So that's just a replacement. It's all of the colors, they will all be bronze to match existing. And then we have here these lights, which are right here. They are all under the drive-up canopy. We are replacing 2 of the poles right in the front of the building, and we'll be replacing the 4 fixtures as well on those 2 poles. We are adding these 3 poles here for added security lighting. They're going to be removing this tree to also assist with the lighting. Adding a new fixture onto this light pole here. Let's see. All 4 of these light poles will be replacing fixtures as well. And that will be with these fixtures. I think that pretty much covers everything. I don't know if you want to.
I'm sure part of it is you want more illumination. You want it to be brighter.
Exactly, and you can
Okay.
see in this picture here, which is taken at night, I mean,
Right.
it's very little lighting.
Is it going to be a hardship for the residential area behind the building?
No, it should not. The majority of the lighting is in the front, and on the sides, there are I'm sorry, let me go back to this. The 4 poles that are in the back to just add the lighting there.
Okay.
Not I'm sorry, 4 light fixtures, they're changing to the LED.
So that's the only impact in the back of the building? then?
Correct.
Okay.
What are the lumens? What are the lumens on those lights? Wattage is geared towards incandescent lighting, and it doesn't really describe how bright a LED will be. A lumens describe that better.
Let's see, I'm not sure if I have.
In case you've
it
ever
on
been to
here.
Home Depot.
One of the plans shows.
It's on the very back, I think, but I don't know which one it
One of the
is.
plans has all the lumens.
Yeah, it should be in there. I don't have it on this page, though, I'm sorry.
The lights bill. Page 3, C3.
And I would think all these lights have top shields.
Yes,
For
it's
that-
only,
that
it's
will
only
help for the-
facing downwards.
We don't have a dark sky ordinance, but probably coming.
I'm sorry. What do you guys feel? Like the fixtures, like the
Yeah, well,
Okay.
it's not the fixture,
Right.
it's not really the fixture, it's if you're concerned about amount of light.
Oh, sure. Right.
It's more the lumens. No,
Mhm.
I'm not an electrical engineer, but
Right.
it's the lumens that make it bright,
Mhm.
and that's going to be an issue going forward, because most of the codes are wattages,
Mhm.
but that doesn't really affect the amount of lumens. Well, it affects it some, but,
I mean, according to sheet C3, it does look like the spillage is actually pretty
yeah,
limited to just the business property
yeah, there's not much
on
to find.
the side and also the street.
Okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like
Yeah, it doesn't extend
much
beyond the
spillage
property line.
beyond
Mhm.
Okay. All right. So we're good with the lighting then? We'll move to landscaping, you guys, okay?
Yeah, there's a number.
Okay. And I would think the township engineer would probably look at all this stuff and
Yeah,
have a
I
better
think he will
understanding
too.
than us guys, so. All right. So we talk about landscaping?
Sure.
Okay.
So with the landscaping, there are 2 trees that they just want to trim down, which is the TR1 and TR2 here on the side to help the lighting over here. And, I'm sorry, this is TR2 and TR1. These 2 will just be trimmed, and this tree will be removed because it's blocking the lighting on that side.
From what?
And the landscaping is right here, right by that pole, where they're putting the new pole in. So they're just gonna trim that down to 36 inches.
This is not the Shade Tree Commission, but how is that tree blocking lights if it's on your property line?
The tree they'd like to remove?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's right in between those 2 poles.
Okay.
So it's blocking that lighting there.
What about, you're relocating a tree
They,
back in the corner?
they just would like, that's actually not part of the scope. Yeah, that's not part of it, I'm sorry. Just the one over here they're removing, and then the other 2 that they'd like to trim.
Is there any plantings in the front, or is that just all just parking? I think it's all parking.
There's
I think
plantings
it's
right
all
here on
parking.
both of the sides where the poles are going,
Yeah, I mean.
or
on
the poles are, right in front.
Is there landscaping there?
a grass buffer maybe.
Yeah, there's not much, yeah.
Yeah, little green.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see it's, well, I mean, it's hard to see from here, but there's, on the 2 little islands that stick out there, there's a little bit of landscaping, some shrubs.
It's kind of just an odd building, you know, remember years ago it was like Zany Brainy?
I remember.
Converted it to
I
a
remember.
dry food bank, which is, how do you guys feel? You guys all right with this? Tim, Don, you good? Okay. Jane,
I'm fine with
you're
it.
the
It could be greener.
landscaping guru, so.
Well, there isn't much landscaping.
Okay, all right.
I mean.
Okay, all right, but you're good with it?
It would be nice if we had a streetscaping plan for Lancaster Avenue, but there isn't one, so
Right.
you can't ask individual property owners to do more than is required under the code.
Okay. All right. Any questions for the board?
No,
You good?
no, thank
Okay.
you.
All right, Jane, you want to take this one?
Oh, wait.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm on the wrong page again. For DRB 2022-17, the Bank of America, for replacing light fixtures and installing new ones, I move for approval.
Here a second?
Second.
All in favor?
All right.
Aye. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, have a good night.
You too.
All righty. Next is DRB 2022-18, the application of Radnor Life at 250 King of Prussia Road for ground signage and wall signage.
Okay, Phil Dubroff with PMDI Signs, representing Brandywine. So, quite a few pages. this is sign program for the new facility that they're resurfacing and, rebuilding the parking lot and everything. And we're working with the existing signage and replacing it with new signage. So these are the different areas that we're addressing, and we can just start writing on the signs.
Okay. So why don't we start with the freestanding signs? How's that?
Right.
And would you be more comfortable with them handheld?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. There we are. It's on.
So this would be the existing sign. This is hard for you. Can we zoom in on this a little bit better? That would be great. Anyway, the existing sign, and what we're doing is we're replacing it with this sign, okay? And looking at this, and for some odd reason, the PDF doesn't print, and you get these funky printouts, but you'll see this is grade represented. The existing sign has the two-tier concrete footing. So we're going to build that up. So now you just have a straight shot. So now the sign, this is the concept drawing. So now you have the sign that is just flat and, articulates with the landscape better. Okay, this is entirely non-illuminated sign. This is a Corten steel build-out. This is a welded aluminum frame cabinet, that wraps around. These tenant names would be a high-performance film applied to an aluminum surface. And down here would be dimensional letters. They would be, actually what we'll be doing is a combination of heights would be 1/2 inch and 3/4 inch plate aluminum, and they would be pin mounted to the surface. That would take care of this.
And you're saying no illumination?
Well, no, there'll be some, you'll see this light fixture. Let me show you this. So this is a luminaire. This is the style that we're looking for. This is called a micro series low profile LED. So we'll probably go with something like a 3,000 or 4,000 Kelvin, because we don't want it cool. We want to just keep, the white will naturally come off as white, okay? So we don't think it needs a cool light washing it. And with a warmer light, it'll really accent the Corten steel, okay? So, and the key is, and so in reality, what you'd have is a light fixture like this on either side of this sign. Okay, it's very low.
At the bottom.
Yeah, very low profile, and yeah, it'll just wash off. It'll probably stand off maybe 2 inches, 3 inches from the sign surface, and just wash off up to the top. So that's.
Naturally, it'll be visible.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, you'll have the contrast with the white.
Right.
Okay, so what happens now is you begin to get, so what this Corten steel does on these signs is there's this accent wall. Show you this.
No,
So you have an accent wall that is actually part of the building, and it extends beyond, okay? And that'll be covered in this variegated tile. It'll be a CMU wall. It's actually connected. That's why we drew it here on the plan view. It's connected to the building, okay? And it comes out of the building, maybe 15 feet, 16, maybe even 20. But then it'll have these non-illuminated stainless steel letters mounted to it. And then the 250 on the right, on the left-hand side, that designates the address. And this would be placed on Radnor Chester Road. So there would be a sign that's parallel. So as you're driving down Radnor Chester and you're turning right onto King of Prussia Road, you'll see this sign on your right-hand side.
Okay.
Okay? So that's how all the colors and the materials are being
Yeah,
coordinated.
gotcha.
Okay?
All right, good. All right, so you're going to have, is it 2 freestanding signs, correct?
Well, let's,
Along the road?
yeah, there's another freestanding sign on Radnor Chester Road, and that's beautifully concealed by shrubbery now. And that's this sign here. Let me see here, okay? So this sign is going to be replaced. Again, so when we develop this and we're working with Brandywine, the idea is always less is more. And so you have an existing sign of 86.64 square feet, and we're replacing it with 73.44 square feet. This sign will actually be the same as the sign that is perpendicular on King of Prussia Road sign. So there's the uniformity, again, that we're bringing into the site. Okay, and that is this sign here on Radnor Chester.
Okay, so one on Radnor Chester, one on King of Prussia?
Well, there's, yes, they're on each, right, and then you have this wall sign that has this
Okay,
logo on it.
gotcha.
Okay?
So according to code, they have to be 200 feet apart.
Oh, they're more, so you see on the site plan, we're 275 feet apart.
Okay, good.
Okay, and then it's much further, like from, let's say, the wall sign over to the sign on King of Prussia Road. I mean, the width of the building is 336 feet, so you're probably another 200 feet for that sign as well. Okay? So that's this wall sign. Now,
So, but again,
yes.
well, we just had the issue with was it the last 2 applicants back about the sight lines?
Yes, so absolutely. And so we're really concerned. I mean, first of all, okay, let's take a look at this sign. This sign is so high up off the road, and it's so far, it's set back really far. Okay, I mean, it's got to be at least, I don't know, on the site plan, you know, you're at least 20 feet setback already, the existing sign. So these signs, according to Kevin with zoning, is these are grandfathered in. These have not been removed.
Right.
Okay, so what we're doing is we're replacing the sign location, but we're reducing the size of the sign. Okay. So yes, so the setback is really important. And for this other sign that's on Radnor Chester, that's setback. There's no exiting or ingress or egress
Right.
of the site.
Okay.
That's just a standalone sign. Okay.
You feel you're good on the other sign?
I am not concerned at all.
Okay.
Okay, it's going to be, so what we're doing, what's interesting on the way we're going to be installing this is we're going to be coming, even though it's at the edge, we'll be adjusting that, but no, you're standing, I bet the sign is probably this much higher than you. So if any vehicle, first of all, you're so far away. See this let's see here. This is the entrance to the road, so you're exiting well beyond. No, that's not it. This sign is not here. You're exiting not even close to the sign. I mean, it's far enough away where that's not even a vision impairment for traffic, oncoming traffic. Okay, so now, so there's this sign here on the site plan. Okay, this is an existing sign. Again, it's non-conforming, and it's an instructional sign. Okay, and that sign is removed. It will not be replaced. Okay. Now, what we are doing is we're adding another instructional sign, or we're adding one instructional sign over here on this island, so as people come in, they'll be able to find the garage and things like that. So what does that say? Yeah, it's main entry, parking, and deliveries. Okay. So the key to any successful sign package is that as a visitor approaches a site, you want it to be as intuitive as possible. So there's very little decision-making time necessary to make the turns, which makes the whole site safer, makes the sign package more effective, And, I mean, it's just functional. I mean, it's really ultimately, besides telling you how you've arrived at the site you're going to, it gets you there safely. So that's the purpose of the instructional sign. Okay? And again, what's cool about this sign is it's much smaller. Okay? So we're under the square footage requirement. And again, now we're incorporating the Cortan steel, but here we're identifying the site, and now we've taken the logo off, and we're still calling it Radnor Life Sciences Center. Okay, so there's that consistency. Again, it's about creating comfort for the visitor coming to the site. You know, being really lousy with directions myself, I like having as much confirmation as I can without overdoing it. So. Then when you get onto the site, and I'll show you, when we were reviewing fabrication details last week, my shop guy says, Phil, you still have this identified as 84 inches by 24. That is not the case. I highlighted here. It is actually what we're calling out as 1'1" by 4 foot. Okay, and this sign would be located by their existing entrance. Okay, again. This is not higher than 6 feet, which is the code, okay? And it's, the square footage is smaller. Now, there'll be 2 additional future tenant signs. Now, we're using this same photo to emphasize our understanding that these 2 signs at 2 by 2, 4 square feet each, would not be installed 6 foot, you know, any higher than 6 foot. So, I guess in summary, if you go through, that we've included the 3 classifications will be utilized on the site. Okay, so we have freestanding signs, 75 square feet, not to exceed, 10-foot height, so we're well under that. We have wall signs, 40 square feet, 15-foot height, and that is the horizontal sign, which we're calling the wall sign. It's one of these. So that would be this sign. That's a wall sign. And then the instructional signs. So we have the 3 tenant signs if you count Good Shepherd. And then you have the one that's inset for the directional that directs you to parking and everything else. So we have existing signs are a non-conforming use because of their size. And the freestanding on the King of Prussia Road is 103 square feet. The existing freestanding on Radnor is 86.64. The instructional, that one that we're removing and not replacing with a sign, is 32 square feet. So you have a square footage of existing of 222, and our total square footage that we're proposing is 194.65 square feet. And then on that other cover sheet that you all have, we just have the comparison of what we're replacing kind to kind, okay? So that takes care of the package.
What do you guys feel about that wall sign, the big wall sign? You say it's just kind of a continuation of the
It
building?
is. It actually is.
Okay.
It is part of the building. It's an accent wall.
Okay. So I guess we're basically going to square the signage portion of it.
Right.
That whole wall would be way,
Oh, yeah, no,
way
I think
too
the
large.
sign there
Yeah.
is the logo part.
right.
And
right.
and what we have, right, is and that's 26.87 square feet.
Mhm.
So, and of course, we're not counting the address number.
Mhm.
Right.
I don't recall when it came up here for the facade, if that was already done for the tiling on there.
I don't remember that.
I don't
I
think
know
so.
there was one question we had about a wall, if you remember right, but I don't know if it was that
I don't
or what. Yeah.
So,
I
Kevin,
don't have an issue.
No, I don't either. Yeah.
I have a question.
Go ahead, Jane.
Not for the wall sign, the large sign for the whole complex, but sign 1B, the main monument ID sign.
yes.
I have 2 questions. First of all, it looks like the address is down at the bottom, whereas on the other, like 1A, the 250 is up at the top.
Hold on a minute.
And
Oh, you know what? That's incorrect on your site plan.
so it should be at the top.
Yeah, look,
Okay.
so if you look at 1B and 1A, they're both in the same location. So
And the-
again, all right, so I'm going to have to fire the designer on this.
And the other question I have, just because
No, go.
Why didn't you keep the brown
The core tan.
as part of the entire sign? And like where Radnor Life Science Center, why? Is it just because the white is easier to change out than the quote-unquote?
Well,
Steel.
it increases
Iron.
visibility,
Yeah. Well,
the contrast.
Yeah. Well, on the other ones, I think you're keeping, where is it? Over on sign number 2, you have Radnor Life Science on the brown
Core tan,
part.
right.
So is their ID color coordinating thing blue and white, or is it silver and brown? I mean, well, I can get picky.
No, yeah, I understand what you're saying. I think, I guess at the end of the day, design is subjective.
Oh,
And
yeah.
what we're doing is we're reinforcing, see, here the primary function of the sign is to assist the visitor in determining where they should turn for their location. So in that respect, the Radnor Life Sciences Center becomes a secondary message, okay, versus the main messaging that are your directionals. So that's why it's on the Cortan steel.
So when somebody pulls in there, they're looking to where to go, but it confirms, hey, you actually are where you're trying to get to.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
The instructional signs lit or no
No,
lighting?
no,
Are you going to put the little band, you think?
no,
No.
no, it's
Okay.
not necessary. I mean, you're so far into the site at that point.
Okay.
You know, it's just,
Mhm.
and see, this is the other beauty of having the contrast of just like a dark gray on a white background, is you don't really need illumination. I didn't see a lighting plan, but I bet there must be lighting right about that island, you know, so there's the
Sure.
ambient lighting is going to work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are there any other questions? I just had one, and Jane will like this question.
Yeah.
A lot of people who come in with monument signs will put a flower bed at the base. I
Right.
don't know if there's any
Right.
talk about that.
You know, we haven't gotten that far. I think right now we're concerned that, you know, how are we going to work with the existing sign? I mean, right now, there's grass all around it.
Okay.
That, you know, that certainly would be a day 2,
Mhm.
and we can discuss that, but
Just kind of dresses up the signs
Absolutely.
sometime. And,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Makes them stand out even a little bit more, so.
Yeah, and also it's nice because it adds another element of color.
Yeah.
It's an opportunity for color. So.
Right.
Seasonal color.
Okay. All right, any questions for the board? You're good with everything? or-
I mean, we're fine.
Yeah, it's a
thank
nice,
you.
clean application, so we appreciate that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thanks. So, hey, Colin, you want to take this one?
In the matter of DRB 2022-18, Brandywine and Radnor Life Science Center for the approval of monument signs, wall signs, and instructional signs. Motion for approval.
I second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Nice evening.
Thank you, you too. Okay, last on our agenda tonight is DRB 2022-19, the application of Wynn Restaurant, represented by John Weckerly at 110 North Wayne Avenue in Wayne, for awning signage and new lighting and a little bit of everything. So, nice to have you here. Sir, again, would you be more comfortable with this? Sure. Okay.
Good evening. John Weckerly, Boxwood Architects. Thanks for having us.
Sure.
We actually presented this project back in January, and at that time, when we presented the sign, the proposed awning that shows here, we presented the notion of creating push-through white acrylic letters, and subsequent to the meeting, in speaking with the owner and restaurateur, they asked us to propose backlighting those acrylic letters. So our proposal here tonight is really, as you can see in these renderings up at the top, nothing else has changed with the proposal aside from requesting that these letters be able to be backlit so that they have a slight glow to them in the evening, which we did present there was a zoning conflict with the height of the letter is a 6-inch letter. The letter starts at 14 inches above the bottom of the awning, which is, there's this kind of decorative tassel piece. So the letter is 14 inches from the bottom of the awning, and then it is a 6-inch high letter, which has been verbally approved through the zoning board. We're waiting for the written approval on that side.
I liked it when it came in the first time. I thought it really looked good. Yeah.
Yeah, they asked me when we were leaving after that, can we light it? And I said, that's when we spoke with Kevin and asked
Right.
about it, and get Lisa to come back in and just present it to you guys.
I think Kevin had an issue the last time they were in there with the way it was mounted off the wall. Projecting, but
And that was addressed in the zoning.
Yeah.
We presented this exact package plus the requirements from the zoning as part of, and again, if, the technical issue was that the top of the sign is only allowed to be 14 inches from the bottom of the awning. And what we're proposing here is that the bottom of the sign is 14 inches from the bottom of the awning. And there was a kind of discussion about whether or not this tassel piece is considered, a solid portion of the awning or a decorative piece. But regardless, the ultimate decision was that was allowed.
I mean, you guys called it an awning. I don't look at it as an awning as such. And
I'll
right?
say off the record, it's my favorite sign I ever approved.
Certainly
Yeah.
appreciate hearing that. That certainly is nice to hear.
Can I ask who fabricates such a sign?
So the owners are with me tonight, and they have a history working with a company called Iron Studios, which is a Philadelphia-based blacksmith and iron worker. And so they'll fabricate the decorative portion, and then we'll work with a local sign vendor to kind of, the iron worker will route out the letters, and then the sign vendor will install the acrylic letters with the back box LED tape kind of 4 inches behind the box that will allow the light to glow.
All right,
Yeah.
we're getting
I
really
think it looks
tech-
beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah,
I
we're
am
certainly excited as well. Can't wait to get open.
Any updates on that, or?
We're under construction. We had some hurdles with the, field conditions, and we submitted an addendum last week to Inspector Pancoast, and we're waiting for his response, but construction is ongoing otherwise.
Okay, good.
We'll say late spring, early summer, hopefully.
All right.
Good question, I'll get at home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll get that too.
John, I know you have a couple other things to talk about, the scones on the building and light fixtures on the building, and
I think all of that stuff we presented last time.
Okay, so
and-
nothing's changed
Yeah,
there?
nothing else has
Okay,
changed.
good.
Yeah, no, the only thing we're here tonight to request different from the original
Okay.
application is illuminating the main sign.
okay.
There's something on here about new operable windows. Is
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
something?
I saw that on there, but these are proposed as operable windows, which we did present to you guys last
Right. You did.
meeting.
Okay.
The only, the only request different than what was approved at the previous presentation is to illuminate this main sign. Everything else we presented last time, and that has not changed.
Okay. What do you guys just feel about those operable windows? Do you like that idea?
No, that's fine.
I know there was an issue, I don't know if you guys were on the board at the time, wasn't that long ago. Somebody, what was it, Greek?
The Greek restaurant, right?
Yeah.
where It's now Nick's Filet. or whatever.
Right, but
Yeah.
I think at that time, because he couldn't do it, because maybe his food is like out
There's
front.
some, I think there was like an issue with where his kitchen was.
Yeah, exactly.
But the kitchen here's
Right,
in the back.
right. Or if you have like a buffet set up,
yeah.
you can't have flies coming in and have feasting on that stuff, so, okay. All right, is that still an option of the windows?
Yeah, our proposal is to include the windows. That's part of what went back to the addendum as part of the building permit shows those. We removed the facade work as part of the initial building permit when we learned that we needed to present the initial exterior elements to you guys. So when we
Okay.
got our building permit, it was for the interior portion. Then we presented this facade as is to you guys, and then very recently finally submitted it as a building permit addendum to kind of obtain the building permit approval for this work.
Great.
I think it looks beautiful, I
Yeah.
have no
I do.
issues with it.
No, I don't either.
I
You
don't
good?
either.
Okay, any questions for the board?
And I
No,
agree,
sir.
it's one of the best looking ones.
Yeah,
I've seen.
so we're gonna have Colin, since this is your all-time favorite
Oh,
sign, you
okay.
make the motion, right? Yeah.
DRB 2022-19. Motion to approve illuminated wall sign.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, lots of luck. Okay, thank you.
Thank you for the investment.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, any other business for our board tonight? Okay, that's it. We'll see you next month. Thank you.